Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and you know that there are so many cases of injustice occurring all across America, and we care about all of them. And so we do our best to bring as many of these to you as we possibly can. And I try to bring experts, scholars, and attorneys, and activists, and people that care about the black community who can help us put it into context. And so today, the person I'm speaking with is Demario Solomon-Simmons. Demario is a prominent and very well-respected attorney out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good, doing good, Dr. Watkins. It's good to see you and good to talk to you this morning.
I'm glad you're here, man. It's always great to talk to you. Now you reached out to me a couple of days ago about a situation that occurred in New Jersey, I believe, with a 27-year-old mother of two, Shaneen Allen.
Yes.
And you mentioned that in an article that you wrote that she wanted to protect her family. She took a gun safety class. She applied for it and was granted a concealed carry permit, and she purchased a gun. But she got caught in a situation, an unfortunate situation, and what sounds to be an unjust situation, where she's actually facing prison time for possessing a legal weapon. What's that all about?
Well, yeah, I mean, Dr. Watkins, I came across this from a friend of mine. Actually, a classmate sent it to me and said, "Hey, have you seen this?" Well, this young lady, Shaneen Allen, she's a single mother of two young boys. She wanted to protect herself and her family. She lives in Philadelphia. She went to and applied for a gun permit in Philadelphia for Pennsylvania. She went through the classes. She received the permit legally. She has no prior criminal records, anything like that. She's driving to someplace in New Jersey, I think to Atlantic City. And during the drive, she's pulled over for a minor traffic violation. And pursuant to her training, she informed the New Jersey police officer that she did have a license to carry, and she did have her weapon with her, which was properly stored in her pocketbook in the backseat of her car. She let him know this truthfully, honestly. And I guess when he asked her to produce her New Jersey permit, she didn't have that because she's from Pennsylvania. He arrested her, charged her with a felony. This happened I believe back in October. But just very recently, at the first of this month, August 6th, I believe, they tried to get the case dismissed through the judge. The judge refused to dismiss the case. And the prosecutor of that particular county is refusing to not only dismiss the case, but he's not allowing her to go into a diversion program that will keep a felony off her record and keep her out of prison. So right now, her choices were to either accept a plea deal, which would have given her a mandatory 3.5 years in prison, or have to go to trial where she faces up to 12 years in prison. I think this is a manifest injustice. I don't see any reason for this. I don't believe that this is going to further any particular aspect of the New Jersey law to deter people from having unlawful guns.
Now you are a legal expert and an experienced attorney, and you've seen a lot of different cases. Is there anything that a prosecutor can say that might somehow justify sending this woman to prison? I can't see it, but then I'm not a lawyer. You are. What argument are they making to send this law-abiding mother to prison for something that almost just seems like it's obviously a mistake, but it seems
Right.
it seems like it's a mistake any of us could make.
Right. Well, I mean, first thing I will say, and this is law school 101, ignorance of the law is not a defense of the law. So I will grant that, and that's just the way it is. But we also learn in law school 101, first year, there is something called the letter of the law, and there's the spirit of the law. The letter of the law is obviously how the law is written, what it says, and how it needs to be interpreted. But there's something that's called the spirit of the law, which gets behind the letters, behind why it was written. Why was it written? What policy or public policy are you trying to accomplish? What type of behavior are you trying to regulate? And I don't think in any case, any way fashionable, anybody can fathom that this prosecutor is somehow, that when they wrote this law, when the New Jersey legislature wrote this law, when the governor signed it, that they had it in mind that they were going to put a single mom of two, law-abiding citizen who had a permit to carry in a neighboring state. They're going to put her in prison, take her from her family, and make the taxpayers of New Jersey pay for her living for 3.5 to 12 years. I don't think that's the spirit of the law. So, to your specific question, the prosecutor has an opportunity, because he has prosecutorial discretion, that's what it's called, to decide how he's going to move forward on a particular case like this. He can absolutely allow her to go into this diversion program where she would not get a felony, where she would not get prison time, where she would not be taken away from her family. And that would be something that the prosecutors can do. I believe in this situation, Dr. Boyce, that if this woman was an affluent woman, maybe a Caucasian woman, that we would not be having this conversation. And the reason I say that, because I know that she's low income because she had a public defender until very recently. And you don't get a public defender unless you're low income. So this prosecutor needs to really rethink this. He's going to waste judicial resources taking this lady to trial. Other people are in New Jersey doing real crimes, dangerous crimes, and that is who the prosecutor and the judicial system of New Jersey should be focused on. Not on a single mother with no prior record who obviously made an innocent mistake. She was truthful. She told the cop what was going on, and now she faces 12 years in prison. It's a manifest injustice.
So tell me about her attorney. I mean, you said she had a public defender. Is it negligence by the public defender? Not, I won't say negligence, but maybe we know public defenders are overworked. They got too many cases, and in some cases they're not necessarily the best lawyer that a person could have. Do you think that that's why she's been hammered like this?
I can't say, and I do want to be very clear. Most public defenders, yes, they are overworked and they have a lot of cases, but they are very hardworking lawyers, and many of them are very, very good because the fact that they do this every single day. So I don't want to say it's the public defender's fault now, but I am happy that she now has a private attorney. They set up a legal defense fund, which I have donated to, and I would ask your listeners and followers to do the same. The Shaneen Allen Legal Defense Fund, and she has a private attorney, and I don't know anything about this attorney, but he is the one that argued the motion to dismiss, which occurred on August 6th or 7th, and he's the one that's going to represent her at trial. The thing that we can hope for is that either one or two things can happen: that we continue to get enough pressure and enough publicity about this case that the prosecutor will make a determination to do what's reasonable and fair and just, or when they go to trial, that there could be something that's called jury nullification. Now, jury nullification is when a jury decides that even though the person may be guilty as the law is written, the jury decides that the law is immoral, repugnant, or just doesn't make sense for the particular circumstance, and the jury can decide not to convict. I am hoping and praying that either this prosecutor changes his mind and gets common sense and dismisses this case, or allow this lady to go into a diversion program so she does not get a felony, so she does not be taken away from her children, or that they found a jury, that a jury would say, this is ridiculous, this makes no sense, why are we going to destroy this family, why are we going to destroy these young men and take the only person they've had in their life to support them, why are we going to put these young men in a state system and with taxpayers will pay for them in foster care, why are we going to put this lady, this law-abiding citizen, in prison for up to 12 years, or even 3 years, or even 1 day, to put her in prison and give her a felony. And I hope that jury says, we're going to nullify this charge. We don't think this is fair, and we're going to find her not guilty.
Well, I can't help but to agree with you, and I'm very happy that you're passionate about this, because one of the things I've heard, and I think this is a legitimate critique, is that sometimes we get so caught up in what's happening to black males and black men that we forget about what's happening to black mothers, and especially you talk about single mothers. She's the lifeline for her sons, and
Right.
it's critical that we support her every bit as much as we support Michael Brown and other cases around the country. And I think that this is also a situation where you have to ask yourself, what's the objective of the criminal justice system when you're putting otherwise law-abiding people behind bars when they don't have to be? I don't think anybody would feel like the world would be a more dangerous place if this mother didn't go to prison. Even if she had willfully broken the law, which she did, which it doesn't sound like she did. She doesn't sound like a dangerous person. She's not a criminal. She's a mother. And so the idea that we would even put people in prison when there are so many other ways that we could rehabilitate them and help them, or not even help them, help society ultimately. That right there, I think, should make us question the motives of the criminal justice system. I'll let you get the last word on this. What is your take, and what do you really believe that people should do, in order to help this poor woman?
Yeah. Well, I say first of all, I wouldn't care if this woman was an African American, Caucasian, Asian. This is wrong. This is an injustice. As you stated, this is a single mother who has no criminal record, who is the lifeline. I love that word you use, lifeline, for her young men. We do not need this to happen. As you stated, no one will be any less safe if this woman is not in prison. So what I would want your listeners and everyone that's hearing or hear about this case to do is one or two things. Number one, we absolutely need to support her legal defense fund, because it takes money to properly prosecute this case, to bring in experts, to do what it needs to be a vigorous defense, so she can walk out of that courtroom and walk back into the arms of her young sons who absolutely need her. And number two, I think we need to make sure that we are contacting the New Jersey prosecutor in Atlantic County, I believe it is, but I can get that information to you more clearly. Contacting that office, letting them know, contacting the New Jersey governor, the governor, Chris Christie, letting him know this is an injustice and we want him to step in. He's a former prosecutor. He understands what's real dangerous criminals about. He understands what the policy is about to try to keep people from committing crimes. And he knows that this lady is not a criminal. And I would encourage people to contact Senator Cory Booker. He's the senator from New Jersey. He is someone who's proven to be that's connected to the community, who understands these type of issues, who tries to fight for truth, justice, and equality. I think people should reach out to him and say, hey, we cannot allow this woman to go to jail for this, for prison for this. This is a manifest injustice. It is not within the spirit of the law. It does no good. It's going to cost the taxpayers, and it's going to devastate those young men, and those young men in a few years can then be into the criminal justice system, and no one wants that. No one needs that, and that needs to stop.
Well, you said it best. When we misallocate justice the way we have, we're not making our society better or safer. We're really creating more criminals. And I'm very happy that we have conscientious attorneys like yourself using the power of the law to do what it's intended to do, which is to help people, intended by people like you. We don't know if everybody who wrote the law wanted to help people. But that's another conversation. Well, everybody, this is Demario Solomon Simmons, and Demario, your website is solomon-simmons.com. Is that correct?
Yeah, solomon-simmons.com. Come to my website. Also, you can hit me up on Twitter at Solo Speaks Truth, or go to my Facebook page, Attorney Demario Solomon Simmons.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for checking this out. And Demario and I will be back to talk to you about all kinds of other issues. You got a black professor and a black lawyer that want to just drop information and share, and not to say that we're better than anybody else because we have the education, but at the same time, education can be helpful if you use it for the right purposes. So everybody, thank you so much for checking us out. And I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, and until we meet again, please stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. We are gone. Peace.